The book of Revelation, the last book of the New Testament, includes Jesus' parting words to 7 churches and gives us a glimpse into what's to come when he returns. The book of Revelation is one of those books in the Bible that will keep you at the edge of your seat. It's like reading a novel filled with vivid imagery, violence, and symbolisms. At the center of the story is God and what will happen when he returns to earth. Many individuals steer clear of the book of Revelation because they believe it to be too challenging to grasp and comprehend. Its stunning imagery and voluminous symbolism present some obstacles for accurate interpretation. It takes some learning to read apocalyptic literature because it is a genre that is unfamiliar to the majority of us. However, Revelation wasn't composed for academics. It was composed in the 1st century with the intention that common Christians would be able to comprehend its main message. This indicates that we are able to comprehend its main point, opening ourselves up to the changes in our lives this book calls for may be more difficult than understanding the book itself. But this bigger obstacle also holds the biggest blessing in store. The apocalyptic expectations of the early Christian community are most clearly and fully expressed in the book of Revelation. The concept that the coming of God's kingdom would not be brought about by a gradual transformation but by a sudden intervention, when God would terminate the current era and establish his kingdom in a world made new, was not a new phenomenon among Christians. It was a well-established belief among Jews. This idea of what will happen is connected to the notion that the conflict between the forces of good and evil will intensify before this moment in the future. As the wicked forces become more powerful, they will persecute and, in some cases, even kill people who pursue a path of righteousness. When the conflict reaches its peak, God will step in, vanquish the forces of evil, and establish a new system in which the virtuous will live forever. These things will occur at the same time as the Messiah's arrival. As they await the arrival of the King of Kings and the establishment of his kingdom on earth in all of its beautiful fullness, the writers of Revelation were attempting to strengthen believers in the 1st century and every century since that time to live out strong loyalty to Christ. By outlining what God has done in the past, is doing now, and will do in the future to defend and protect his people, vanquish his foes, and regenerate his world, it strengthens us for this. It teaches us how to go about our daily lives in ways that will be significant for all of eternity. 7 Beatitudes, 7 expressions defining what it means to be blessed, are among the many sevens found in the book of Revelation. Furthermore, the description of the truly blessed person given in Revelation is wholly illogical. True blessedness is not what many people in our day believe the blessed life to be: a life of ease and comfort, a life full of worldly possessions. The book of Revelation demonstrates that those who heed its call to strong loyalty to Christ, even at the risk of their material comforts and possibly even their lives, will experience true and eternal blessing. Those who are ready and eager for the return of Christ will be blessed, according to Revelation. People who are living by the righteousness that Christ has given them, and that is being worked through their life by his Spirit, are able to enjoy it. John was given a series of visions, which he was told to record for us in the book of Revelation. We get to view the reality of heaven and earth from the perspective of heaven through this chronicle of his visions. We are confined to what we can see with our eyes and feel with our senses in the absence of this heavenly revelation. But thanks to this holy revelation, we may observe how heaven is worshipped. Since we now understand the underlying nature of all things, we can see that certain things that initially appear valuable or lovely are actually ugly and unattractive. Similarly, what could appear to be failure is actually success. From the perspective of earth, anything may appear tiny, but it has immense value. To his partners in the affliction, the kingdom, and the patient endurance that are in Jesus, John writes in his letter, "Living as a resident of heaven in the world's kingdom, which despises the word of Christ and seeks to silence it, entails suffering. We require patient endurance if we are to maintain our commitment to Christ in the face of marginalization or persecution, just as the original receivers of this letter did." The entire book of Revelation is an exhortation to resist the world's draw and the devil's lies over the course of our entire lives. We may see Jesus as he was when he took on human flesh and spent 33 years living in this earth in the Gospels. Jesus is still a person, of course. He is the first praised and raised from the dead human. He won't be the last, though. The only one qualified to oversee how history plays out is Jesus, who currently sits on the throne in heaven. According to Revelation, he is the mighty king who will return in the form of a heavenly warrior, judge his foes, and establish justice in his earth. We get to see him as our devoted bridegroom who will soon arrive to consummate their marriage. In addition to being the crucified yet alive Lamb, Revelation paints a vision of Jesus as our shepherd who will watch over and care for us for all of eternity. The Bible comes to an end when we reach the conclusion of the book of Revelation. And we get to a conclusion that is appropriate. There are certain themes that the divine author has incorporated into his book that start in the early chapters of Genesis, grow throughout history, wisdom, and the prophets, and reach a pinnacle in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. In the new creation depicted in the final chapters of Revelation, these themes are resolved. The marriage that started in Eden but fell apart is finished in Revelation. All of God's children receive the inheritance that was promised to them. The city is a lovely multinational community because people from all over the world move there. The entire earth is God's temple, where he resides. The second Adam, Jesus, will lead us into a garden that will be much better than Eden, where we shall have communion with him for all of eternity, as we witness at the conclusion of Revelation. The modern world is based on a loving God. However, it has no genuine idea how to deal with a God of anger. Many want to eliminate God's wrath from both his reputation and actuality. But Revelation forbids us from doing it. Instead, it urges us to join the heavenly saints in singing a song that exalts God's wrath as a proof of his flawless justice and righteousness. The book of Revelation reveals that the earth will be cleansed and purifying by the judgment of God that will descend upon it. The answer to the query, why doesn't God do something about all of the evil and suffering in the world, is given to us in Revelation. It says, have patience. The end of evil is undoubtedly near. The book of Revelation is all about God's victory, which is the final crucial fact you need to be aware of. While it warns us of the difficulties we will encounter, it also reveals that God is aware of the rising immorality in the world and has chosen to do nothing about it. The fact that God is permitting evil to prevail in the earth may lead some people to believe that the devil has won. The key lesson from this book, however, is that good always prevails over evil in the end. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section down below. If you liked today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.